So let's check some information about Spiritmaster feedback from FGT test in Taiwan. This time lots of feedback from many players is gathered here regarding different skills. You can see here also Fire Spirit, Wind Spirit, and also Spiritmaster with 2 orbs. So let's dive into this part of the live stream or video if you are watching it on my YouTube channel. Let's see, what do we have new information about Spiritmaster class. Don't be confused by this translation, guys. Elf. Yeah, it's written elf. Don't worry, it's not elf. It's a Spiritmaster. Due to possible equipment gap, several test players have great differences in their opinions on the strength of the elves and the mage. Elves would be Spiritmaster, mage would be sorcerer. So this is a rough translation from Korean language to English language. However, we will understand most important things. The physical sense may be wrong. It is not yet certain which profession has stronger output capabilities. Everything will be based on the official version after the server is launched. So they are talking here about a main difference between sorcerer and Spiritmaster magical range classes of AION 2 and also for original AION. Many players have disagreed about power of Sorcerer and Spiritmaster. In generally, everybody felt that Spiritmaster is more powerful than Sorcerer. However, Sorcerer was more into CC, more into crowd control, not that much into damage side. But let's check this text first here. So obviously you're going to have 4 types of the spirit: fire spirit, water elf, earth elves, and wind. So basically fire, water, earth, and wind spirit, like in original AION, 4 types of the spirit. Summoning elves is instant, so summoning spirits is instant, okay? And the moment it is summoned, the BB will use a very high damage skill. That is interesting. Each elf, each spirit has different advantages. Again, something what we have seen also in original AION. When the BB is called back, an AoE skill will be used. So let's read this again. This is very important. BB does not have the provoke skill. BB, spirit, cannot take the initiative to attack monsters and can no longer be used to resist monsters. That is a different from original AION. When spirit attacks, there is a chance to restore spirit health. Elf spirit will have a chance to release special skill by itself, similar to the previous command skills, but it is a probability release instead of player own release. This generation of spirits is more like turret with no commands. This is very important. So this generation, they mean on AION 2 spirits from the Spiritmaster, is more like a turret without commands. Okay, this is a big difference from original AION. Only skill combos, okay, but Elf Star is very dependent on BB. Elf Star, they mean Spiritmaster, when you see it like this. So Spiritmaster is very dependent on their spirits, and it cannot be played without spirits. Okay, that's kind of understandable, right? I mean, why would you play Spiritmaster class without spirits? That is one of the main designations of Spiritmaster, beside fear and lots of dots and stuff, right? This is definitely one of the main things about Spiritmaster class in original AION and also obviously in AION 2. It is very important to hit BB first in PvP. That means spirit. So it's very important that you hit spirit first in PvP. Spirit has a substitute, but there are also too few grids and usually no equipment is installed. Spirit has no active blood recovery skills, so it's easy to die. So they want to say in PvP, you want to actually attack if you are some other class besides Spiritmaster or Spiritmaster. If you are fighting against Spiritmaster, you want to attack Spirit first, not character Spiritmaster itself. Again, not a surprise here, right? And they are marking here, they are saying actually that Spirit doesn't have any active blood recovery skills. They mean active HP recovery skill, and it's easy to die. The skill is summoning spirit, has a cooldown of 30 seconds, okay? If it dies too quickly, there will be a window period. Nice. Not bad. Okay, not bad. A left button, they mean on mouse, I guess. 3 normal attacks, cold shock, vacuum explosion, earth wrath. Right click, or the mouse, I guess. Flame burns, fire damage in range. Q. Okay, so this is pressing Q or E. That is activating special special chain skills. Basically, for every class is like that. But let's check what are doing chain skills of the Spiritmaster. Q skill, single target fear. Oh, nice. Single target fear. Okay. Cooldown 15 seconds, distance 15 meters, damage. And it's not only fear, it's also additionally damage. Q2, combined attack, area damage, 4 types of spirit. We also have different effects. Okay. Q3, after the impact is released, fear plus damage. This could be AoE. Because there is one single target fear and there is also AoE fear. 2 types of the fear. This could be AoE. This one, AoE fear. E skill, okay? A combined attack, curse. 4 spirits will have different attack attributes and skill effects. E2, each time you summon a BB spirit, an energy will be lit. When you summon spirit of 4 attributes, it turns into gather 4 energies. The E skill will become elemental attack, and single high damage skill consider a big move. Because this skill is very important output skill. If the BB dies too quickly, spirit, the rhythm of summoning spirits may be interrupted, which may affect the output. In order to maintain the rhythm of this skill, usually the next spirit will be summoned before the spirit dies. E3, Soul Destruction, activates the boss monster in a dizzy state. Activated when the boss monster is in dizzy state, long press the continuously launch spell missiles to cause damage. Mass Fear is a branding skill. For each class, there will be some brand skill. And there is also Assault Fear, also a Mass Fear, both on which are instant skills. So wait a second. This means there are 2 AoE fears. Mass Fear is a branding skill. There is also Assault Fear, also a Mass Fear. Both of it. So what? There is 1 single target fear and 2 AoE fears. At least it's looking like from this. Maybe I'm wrong. Don't forget, guys, this is coming from players. This is feedback of players who have played the game recently during FGT test on servers in Taiwan. And this is rough translation from Korean to English language. And it's very hard to say. I'm not sure. I think this is actually not from Korean. This is from Chinese, traditional, from Mandarin to English language. So it's a very hard translation. But from what I can see, for sure, there is 1 single target fear and 1 AoE fear. Possibly 2 AoE fears and 1 AoE fear. 1 single target fear. Wow, that already is impressive. Fear skills come with a lot of damage. Guys, look at this. Look at this. Fear skills come with a lot of damage and are no longer simple control skills. The probability of the fear taking effect is 70%. Oh, it's a probability. So it's not guaranteed. No guarantee, 70%, but it's still pretty high. But this is also important. Guys, a lot of damage. You see this? Fear is coming with a lot of damage. Wow. It can still burn buffs. So this, okay, that's normal for Spiritmaster. It is a branding skill that burns 2 at a time. So 2 buffs at a time are just vanishing. And the damage of the buff burning skill is also very high. Guys, this is really insane. Not only that fear have damage, but also skill for removing buffs have a damage. And that damage is very high. Guys, are we going to play Spiritmaster, everybody? Let's just everybody play Spiritmaster, that's it. Brand has a skill that summons an ancient elf. It will summon a boss that looks like a stone monster in certain copy. I can't remember which copy it is. An ancient elf can only last for 30 seconds. When it comes out, it will fire a laser cannon with high output. It's a burst skill. Okay, I haven't seen any summoning of the teammates yet, and I can't fly planes like in the first generation, whatever that means. The elf skills do not have dot damage. So wait, elf skills. Okay, so spirit skills do not have dot damage. They are all direct damage, completely direct from the first generation where all were dots. I guess this would be that explanation. I don't know that this would say that Spiritmaster skills do not have dot damage over time. No way that Spiritmaster skills will not have damage over time. Or maybe this actually means that. Because in original AION, of course, there were many dots. I remember when I was playing Gladiator, and I used to play very often in Arena, for example, Arena of Discipline against Spiritmaster. On start of my gameplay, yeah, I was like normally, right, having some scrolls, buffs on me, stuff like that. After like 2 seconds, after I approached to Spiritmaster, I was blinking like a Christmas tree. If you are a player of original AION, if you are a veteran AION player, then you know what I mean. You are blinking. You are just, your character was blinking from different dots. There were like 10 dots on me, right? So, I don't know. Yeah, there are blood-sucking skills. Blood-sucking skills, they mean on a life steal, to explain that, like vampiric skills, right? Seems to be in the brand. The original Soul Snatch, the first generation of this skill is pressed 5 times in a row. The second generation is only pressed once. Instant output skill, long cooldown, high damage. There is instant silence, and the silence skills also had really? There is instant silence. And the silence skill also had damage. Guys, you are everybody playing Spiritmaster. So not only that you have 2 or 3 fears with damage, single target fear, AoE fear, not only that you have buff removing skill with damage, not only that you have a live steal skill, okay, you also have instant silence skill and also make damage. Yeah, guys, let's all play Spiritmasters. Why? We quit every class. I mean, what is this? I mean, of course, I'm not going to play Spiritmaster. I'm going to play probably Chanter, but this is insane, right? The main skill of the elves is called Power of Kaizinel. Main skill of the elves is called, okay. This is here picture of the Fire Spirit. We have seen that during gameplay footage from NCSoft. This is Fire Spirit. This here is Wind Spirit. And we can see here Spiritmaster having basically 2 orbs. Basically 2 orbs. And here we have then description. This is a topic for another video. This is now skills and everything about Sorcerer. You will see that video on my YouTube channel very soon. But for today, yeah, I wanted to show you these guys, these very interesting information. Like I said, take everything here with grain of salt, because this is feedback from many players who have played the game on servers in Taiwan. Also, some feedback is maybe included even from FGT test over there played on servers in Korea. Take everything here with grain of salt. It's a very rough translation. There could be mistakes. But guys, this is looking insane. Spiritmaster is looking very powerful. Strange translation. Don't worry, this is from Chinese to this is from Chinese to English language translation. Don't worry about translation. We have understood the most important things. There will be 4 spirits: fire, water, earth, and wind. 2 types of the fear minimum: single target fear and also AoE fear, maybe even 2 AoE fears with damage, life steal skill, buff removal with damage, silence, insta damage skill, silence with damage. Wow. Spiritmaster, guys, look very powerful. If you have intention to play Spiritmaster, you can probably enjoy in this video when I see any kind of new information and of course a real gameplay footage of Spiritmaster. I will let you know about that instantly here on my YouTube channel. For today, just to let you know how is looking Spiritmaster in the eyes of the players who have already played this class during FGT test on servers in Taiwan. You can see this is very direct feedback and lots of information about gameplay of Spiritmaster. On many ways, this reminds on original Spiritmaster. Definitely, yes, we have here spirits. However, not everything. You can see that new spirits are actually this part of the text. This generation of spirits is more like turret without commands. So there are no commands for your spirit. They are more like turrets. You summon them and they are doing the thing automatically. There is no any kind of command, stuff like that, right? So it's very interesting. Some things are different, definitely, but also Spiritmaster from this very short description, a little bit confusing still, but it's looking very powerful. For today, you are fully updated regarding everything what you know so far about Spiritmaster. You can check also on my YouTube channel in the future videos of this type for every class. I'm preparing dedicated video from description, from feedback of the players who have already played this game on servers in Taiwan. And when I see any kind of new information from World of AION 2, including regarding classes, you'll see it instantly here on my YouTube channel. If you are interested into AION 2, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You will see lots of guides, not only regarding Spiritmaster, but also regarding 7 other classes of this game, different kind of builds, gear, raids, dungeons, crafting, everything what you need to know from World of AION 2, you'll find it here on my YouTube channel. So make sure to subscribe. Also, follow me on Twitch. I'm live streaming every single day, mandatory, no skipping. Visit me on Twitch every day about 7 p.m. Central European Time. If you have any kind of questions regarding the game, I'll be glad to answer and also to keep you updated regarding everything what is happening in World of AION 2. Thank you for watching the video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on Twitch, and see you soon with another AION 2 video. Let's talk about Gladiator class of AION 2. In today's video and this part of the live stream, you'll find out everything what we know so far from the feedback of the players who already play AION 2 on servers in Korea and also on servers in Taiwan during FGT test. In front of you, you can see Sword Star title. Don't worry, this is actually Gladiator. This is rough translation from Korean language to English language, so don't worry about that. We are going to study, analyze each one of the skills of Gladiator class. You can see here lots of information. Big thank you for all of the people who have gathered this feedback, including fellow graphics, of course, and everybody else over there, and of course to FGT players who have given us this feedback regarding Gladiator class. If you are interested into AION 2, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm preparing lots of videos, guides for new players, PvP-wise and PvE-wise, how to gear up, guides regarding best builds for each class, dungeons, raids, crafting, news and updates. Everything what you need to know from World of AION 2, you'll find it here on my YouTube channel, so make sure to subscribe. Also, follow me on Twitch. I'm live streaming every single day, mandatory, no skipping. Visit me on Twitch every day about 7 p.m. Central European Time. If you have any kind of questions regarding the game, I'll be glad to answer and also to keep you updated regarding everything what is happening in World of AION 2. But now let's focus on the main topic of this video, Gladiator of AION 2. So before we dive into this description of each of the skills of Gladiator class, I need to let you know two very important information. Currently in AION 2, you can use only one weapon per class. In the future, that might change. However, what we know so far, you can use only one weapon per class, and that means Greatsword for Gladiator. That means that you cannot use Spear or Polyarm on this class. And also, second important information, there is no dual wielding. We had in original AION, you could equip Stigma, you could wield, I don't know, 2 maces, 2 swords, whatever, on Gladiator. Actually, I did play in original AION, for example, my Gladiator with 2 maces. I needed very high magical accuracy for skill effects. So, for example, I can play Gladiator with 2 maces. That was at one point in time very good build for PvE. I remember update 2.x, 3.x. However, looks like that will not be possible in AION 2 because there won't be any dual wielding for Gladiator at least, and only one weapon for now, Greatsword. However, taking consideration that might change in the future. Maybe developers of the game will add like 2 weapons per class. However, for now, we have only 1 weapon per class. No swapping of weapon. What you equip, that's it. Now, let's check information about Gladiator. The Gladiator feels very simple to play, okay, and the experience is very good. Okay, I like this. Already first sentence sounds pretty good. At first glance, it seems a bit clunky and slow. I don't like this second sentence. This second sentence is already putting me a little bit in a bad mood because I have played Gladiator as my main class in the last 15 years. Most of the time, I'm playing AION for the 15 years now. And yeah, I was playing Gladiator as my main class. However, probably in AION 2, I'm going to switch to another class for fun a little bit. Anyway, first glance, seems clunky and slow. Okay, I hope not. But the actual experience is very smooth. The rolling skills are very useful. Okay. The disadvantage is that the mobility is poor and most of them cannot be released by moving. So mobility is poor. However, you can achieve smoother operation by rolling and dropping the backswing. The open and close group attacks are so cool, and the sound effects are explosive, and the special effects are blinding. We have seen some gameplay, actually lots of gameplay, different classes in combat regarding AION 2, and yes, definitely skill effects are definitely blinding a little bit, lots of splashing colors around with very fast-paced animation. A Sword Star, actually Gladiator, doesn't need to take medicine when killing monsters. Oh, this is interesting. So you don't need HP potions. I guess they were saying that. Take in consideration, this is rough translation from Korean language to English language. It has high defense. Okay, I like that. Strong blood-sucking ability and knockdown ability. So We already learned about Gladiator from before, that Gladiator will be able to have two different builds. One build will be knockdown build, another build will be blood sucking. Actually, that would be HP leeching or life leeching. Something like, I guess, similar to Absorbing Fury or Draining Sword in original AION, skills which you could use to actually drain HP into your benefit, right, when making damage. Something like that, I guess. And another build should be knockdown ability. The changes of kick, throw, elbow attack are better than the first generation. I haven't seen the Murderous Aura burst yet. Player filled in the questionnaire to feedback this suggestion. I wonder if it will be changed. Not clear what are they saying here, but okay. The abnormal state of PvP seems so far is knockdown and emptying. Okay, this is good. Skill number 1, Leap Slash. Frenzy Stab, 10-second cooldown, 20-meter distance, consumes MP. So Leap Slash, jumping on the target from 20-meter distance, consumes MP. Sounds good to me. Very short cooldown. If this is true, 10 seconds cooldown for this gap closer skill that you can jump on your target. Wow, that's already insane, but okay. If this is true, like I said, take all of this feedback with a little bit of grain of salt, because developers of the game, they could change lots of things between FGT test and between release of the game on servers in Korea and Taiwan in November of this year, and of course before global launch, and of course take everything in consideration with a little bit of grain of salt, because look, this is feedback from the players. This is not official information from NCSoft, right? Different people see different things, and maybe not everything is accurate. But what is important, we can get general impression about each class, definitely, right? I'm making also this type of the video for each class. You make sure to check them on my YouTube channel. Then we have here skill number 2, Enraged Explosion, throwing people. Well, like this. There was one skill of the Gladiator where you could throw somebody on the ground. That was so good. So beautiful, just beautiful here. Can be learned at level 4. The knockdown state is still there, consumes MP. Oh, this is beautiful. Okay. Number 3 skill, a Crushing Wave or AoE skill, very useful, fast speed, high damage, 2-stage skills, continuous skills, consumes MP. Lots of consuming of MP. In AION 2, there shouldn't be any mana potions. Just to let you know, at least for now, that is information from the players who already played this game. There shouldn't be any mana potions. Mana you're going to regenerate normally with time and also with auto attacks. So yeah, there shouldn't be any mana potions. Let's go further with skill number 4. Destruction Smash, single target, high damage, fan-shaped AoE in front, huge damage, requires reading. What this means, I'm not sure. E skill, triggers a stab after knocking down. Okay. Release conditions are not as strict as the original, easier to release. The action is not as fast as the original. The after swing is a bit large. There is a skill specialization of 0 cooldown for the stab, but 0 cooldown seems to have conditions. Okay. E2 skill, weapon blocking, triggers a kick, range damage, range binding, lasts about 4 seconds. That's interesting. Range bind, lasting about 4 seconds. It's logical. It's logical in one way. You know why? Because in original AION, I could use a longbow on my Gladiator. I could use it in some situation when I needed to make some range damage or something. Yeah, or even to slow somebody down or something, I could use longbow. However, in this version of AION, AION 2, you cannot use second weapon. You can use only greatsword on Gladiator. So there should be some range skill. I mean, already this Leap Slash, jumping on the target from 20-meter distance. I mean, maybe it's a dash. Maybe it's not actually jumping. Maybe it's a dash to the target. Sounds pretty good, right? Some kind of gap closer, right? And let's check further. What do we have here? Where is next one? Is down here. Q, dash attack. Needs to roll before use. Can also be used by rolling for no reason, but must select the target to dash. Sprint distance 10 meters. 20 meters after specialization, okay? 50% chance to trigger knockdown. This skill is very useful in PvP. I see in this Gladiator description gameplay, they are mentioning a lot knockdown, which is very nice. Knockdown is very often mentioned, right? Air binding, here we go. There is at least one Ether hold skill, right? Obviously here we have air binding. In original AION there was Ether hold. Here we have air binding. 40% chance, needs to be used on the knockdown object. Oh, wait. 40% chance needs to be used on knockdown object. Must be knocked down before throw. I see it. Okay, so this will not be easy. So first of all, it's only 40% chance. So 60% chance that you're going to miss. And can be used only on knockdown target in knockdown state. So you cannot use it on normal target. But imagine if you put some target in knockdown and then you put it in air bind. That's great. They didn't say how long it will last. If it's a few seconds, that's a win. You're winning definitely in that PvP. Left click skills can be released by moving. A right click skill release at fixed point has a provocative effect, high single target damage, and high mana consumption. Wait, a provocative effect. Does that mean for tanking? Some kind of, aggroing? Possible? Because in original AION, you could also tank lots of things with Gladiator. Is it possible they can put some kind of provocative effect on some skills that you can actually tank even more content in AION 2? It is possible. Because that is usually specific for Templar and Templar class and Templar skills, right? However, this provocative effect, probably it is something. That's good. So probably in AION 2, same like in original AION, you will be able to really tank a lot. I used to tank so much content. I used to tank almost everything what a Templar could in original AION. I used to tank Hyperion in Catalamaise. I have a tank also in Runadium, Mad Grendel Witch when we are getting Mad Grendel weapons, and I have tank many things, definitely. Yeah. A Rage Wave skill, area knockdown. Oh, that's cool. Area knockdown, okay? Blood Sucking Wave, high damage. Blood Sucking Wave, this is something like life stealing, right? Some kind of HP drain skill, I guess. After the impact is released, there is an AoE skill that seems to have knockdown effect. Again, knockdown, so much knockdown. Flying Knife is branding skill, which is only available in the mid-turn. Okay, branding skill, one of the main skills for each classes. There are Balanced Armor, Wave Armor, Self-Range Dot Skill, Berserker Smash, okay? Power Strike and Focus Block. The main god skill is Yiker Blessing, which increases the attack of all teammates by... Wait, what? What is this? The main god skill is Yiker Blessing, which increases the attack of all party members by 20%. Guys, this is so good. Everybody will want Gladiator in a party. There is also Yiker Power, which increases attack speed by 20%. Guys, this is insane. This is totally insane. So, when you are going to play some endgame content, hard content, you're going to want Gladiator in your party. Okay, let's go further with passive skill. Survival Stance increases maximum health and vitality recovery, increases blocking, increases critical hit knockdown rate, increases blood sucking, and has a chance to trigger a 10-second berserker state when attacking, sucking blood crazily. So life leeching, HP leeching will be there. What is interesting, they're mentioning here blocking, which was usually very specific for Templar. Block was specific for Templar. However, for Gladiator, it was specific parry, a different skill. So now they're mentioning a lot of block here for Gladiator, but it's okay. And this is very cool. 10-second Berserker state. Also, Berserker is one of the famous skills from original AION. In PvP, you can stab the opponent with skill 1 at the beginning. Gladiator really needs to change the brand. Changing the brand is very expensive. This is regarding brand skills, specialty skills for each class. Gladiator is more of an output character, not a tank. So output, they mean damage, right? And which is normal, I have to admit, because in original AION, yes, like I said, you could tank lots of things on Gladiator, but on the end of the day, what was Gladiator? Gladiator was melee DPS. That's it, DPS, just melee, not range, right? In a simpler versions, Gladiator can be a tank, absolutely. In simpler versions, they mean to say on easier content. Yeah, this is the only way. This is the only explanation. In easier content, Gladiator can be tank, definitely. Same like in original AION. In high difficulty dungeons, okay, let's see now, you must guard. Guard is actually translation for Templar. So in high difficulty dungeons, you will need Templar as a tank. Again, not a surprise. Not a surprise, even that, like I said, in original AION, I was able to tank even endgame content on my Gladiator. For some content where you really need designated tank, you will use guard, actually Templar, right? That's logical. Sword Star, Gladiator cannot be a tank. Yeah, in that difficult, right? Difficulty dungeons, right? High difficulty. In simple dungeons, tanking is also very dependent on positioning. In short, the survivability is not strong. Just like the first generation, it is suitable for the output of the group monsters. It is suitable for the output of the group monsters. This means it's suitable for damage of the group, right? AoE, lots of mobs around you. There is still problem of OT when fighting boss. It is easy for Yang Xing T to OT. Have no idea what this means. Now Yang Xing provocation skill is almost useless. I see now. It's problem taunting the target in the boss. So let's say you want to tank on Gladiator, you'll have high damage output. But look, this is the problem. Provocation skill is almost useless. So yeah, you have taunt on the target to take aggro, but it's not enough. So in the party, maybe there is some Sorcerer or Ranger, high DPS classes, they will take aggro from you, and that will be a problem, at least for end game content. In the mid game content and early game, I mean, it's not even that important. Probably, like they said, you can tank on Gladiator even without this taunting or provocation. But later, you will need some class like Templar with taunt, actually, with aggro to provoke the target on them. Because we have seen also in one gameplay footage already during the developer live stream how Ranger was taking aggro from Templar. High DPS, yeah, you will take aggro. Sorcerer can take aggro. I remember that happening to me actually many times in original AION when I was playing Gladiator. High DPS classes just taking aggro from you. And then it's a problem. If it's some end game content, it's a problem. If it's some mid-tier dungeon, it's not a problem because, yeah, you're going to finish it anyway, right? It's not hard. But in end game content, if boss is taking a target as main target, aggro on a Ranger or Sorcerer, it's a problem because you cannot keep aggro on you, and that Sorcerer and Ranger could be defeated, can die, because they're squishy. They're not that much strong in defense like you as Gladiator. So I see that. Pulling a hatred still depends on output. Here we go. This sentence. Pulling hatred still depends on output. So we understand what they mean to say. So keeping aggro still depends on damage. Okay, so this presents also a problem for Templar. If some classes feel highly out DPS Templar will not be able to keep aggro, right? But we are going to see about that in the future. The skills of the left and right key seems to be able to specialize and increase the hatred value. Okay, so there are some skills which can increase that taunting. Equipment will also have effects. Equipment will also have effect skills which may cause a Gladiator to be divided into blood-sucking faction and knockdown faction. I was talking about that 1 minute ago. There will be 2 ways how to build your Gladiator class. One will be life-stealing, blood-sucking. They want to say life-stealing, absorbing HP. And another build will be knockdown build. Depends on what you play. I guess this blood-sucking, life-stealing build will be more viable in PvE. I'm only guessing. I'm not sure. But this knockdown build will be much more viable in PvP. I doubt that you are going to be able to knock down big boss. However, you can definitely life leech HP from the boss. So probably knockdown build will be viable for PvP, and this blood-sucking build, right, for PvE, right? So probably knockdown build will be viable for PvP, and this blood-sucking build for PvE. But then again, I'm only guessing at this point in time from this short description of the class. We're going to see after release in Korea. You will see on my YouTube channel lots of videos, guys, regarding Gladiator and actually all the other classes. I'm preparing videos for each class. You will see best builds, how to gear up, everything what you need to know about each class specifically. Almost all skills of a Gladiator can suck blood. This is interesting. Almost all skills of Gladiator can life leech. That's insane. But it will take a long time to get good equipment. Yeah, gearing up will be a problem. Just like the first generation, you need equipment to improve the experience. Yeah, so Gladiator was highly dependable on the gear in original AION. Not like Sorcerer or Ranger. Don't get me wrong. Every class of AION in original game was dependent on the gear. Definitely. However, some classes more than other. For example, Class number 1, which was dependent on the gear, was definitely Templar. That's it. Templar, you needed to play on the BIS, really best in slot gear. If you had best in slot gear on Templar, you were amazing. If you didn't have it, it was not good. Gladiator was highly dependable on extendable weapon. Yes, it's confirmed. We are going to have also extendable weapons in AION 2 and also extendable range weapons. Yes, you heard right. Not only that we are going to have extendable melee weapons like in original AION, in AION 2 we are going to have extendable melee and extendable range weapons. I don't know how that works for extendable range weapons, but that will be interesting to see. So, Gladiator was dependable on extendable weapon. If you had extendable weapon, you were feeling like double stronger, like really double stronger on your Gladiator. Without extend, you were feeling double weaker. Also, rest of gear was important. You can still play, of course, that all other classes are dependent on the gear. However, for example, Sorcerer, Spiritmaster, Ranger, even if you had decent gear, you could play good. You could play good in original AION, Ranger, Sorcerer, Spiritmaster easily on decent gear. However, Gladiator and Templar, no, you can't. You need to have amazing gear. So I do understand this, right? However, interesting sentence. Almost all skills of Gladiator can life leech. That's amazing. This suck blood, right? It's a rough translation. This sounds real good. Anyway, for today, guys, you are fully updated regarding all the skills, what we know so far, at least from the feedback of the players who have already played AION 2 on servers in Korea and Taiwan during FGT test. This is what we know about Gladiator. I'm preparing videos of this type also for other classes. Make sure to check them out. And also make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm preparing lots of guides on my YouTube channel, PvP-wise and PvE-wise. How to gear up, best builds for each class, dungeons, raids, crafting, news, and updates. Everything what you need to know from World of AION 2, you'll find it here on my YouTube channel. Also, make sure to follow me on Twitch. I'm live streaming every single day, mandatory, no skipping. Visit me on Twitch every day about 7 p.m. Central European Time. If you have any kind of questions regarding the game, I'll be glad to answer and also to keep you updated regarding everything what is happening in World of AION 2. Thank you for watching the video. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on Twitch and see you soon with another AION 2 video. FGT tests of AION 2 on servers in Korea and Taiwan are behind us, and from these two FGT tests we have get lots of useful information from the players who have played AION 2 for the first time. So in today's video I want to focus on feedback from the players regarding Chanter class. In front of you can see title Dharma Protector. Don't worry about that. This is a rough translation from Chinese traditional language into English language. However, you're going to understand main information and basically sentiment of the players. How do they feel about Chanter of AION 2? Also, I'll make comparison of Chanter of AION 2 with Chanter of AION 1, original AION. As AION veteran player, I can play, of course, all the classes in original AION, and actually I can play Chanter a lot, so I can make this comparison without any issues. So let's dive into today's video. Before we start, let me just say, subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you are interested into AION 2, I'm preparing lots of videos, guides for new players, PvP-wise and PvE-wise, best gear for each class, best builds for each class, guilds, dungeons, raids, crafting, news, and updates. Everything what you need to know from World of AION 2, you'll find it here on my YouTube channel, so make sure to subscribe. Also, follow me on Twitch. I'm live streaming every single day, mandatory, no skipping. Visit me on Twitch every day about 7 p.m. Central European Time. If you have any kind of questions regarding the game, I'll be glad to answer and also to keep you updated regarding everything what is happening in World of AION 2. But now let's focus on the main topic of this video. Feedback of the players who have played Chanter class on servers in Korea and Taiwan during FGT test. Here you can see title, like I said, Dharma Protector. Don't worry about this, it's actually Chanter. The Guardian, they mean Chanter, feels a bit strong. Melee output, feels like a warrior. The positioning is auxiliary and output, but more like output than auxiliary. The auxiliary ability is not very strong. The output ability is stronger than the first generation. With good equipment, it can be also T and the team positioning can be changed by matchmaking skills. So, to clarify this, they are saying that Chanter of AION 2 is having much bigger output, much higher DPS than original Chanter. And I'm so much happy to hear this, because I have intention to play Chanter, of course, on servers in Korea and Taiwan very soon in November. You are going to see some gameplay guides regarding Chanter. Don't worry about that. And I'm even considering to play Chanter as my main class. And I'm so happy to hear that they have improved DPS of the Chanter, because in the previous version of the game, original AION, Chanter was amazing class, 1 versus 1 PvP, amazing class, beautiful support class. Sometimes Chanter was healing, depending on the patch, really a lot. However, regarding DPS, we did lack that. We definitely did lack that on Chanter, so this is beautiful to see. Now, there are 2 displacement skills, 2 charges. Yes, there are 2 skills. Basically, you're dashing to the target. One is an active skill and the other one is conditional skill. There is a long-range knockdown skill. Yes, we can also see 2 long-range skills. I'm not sure regarding this knockdown. I will actually tell you something later. I know something about this knockdown. Similar to the original chain, there is concentrated block, but unlike the original, the concentrated block is to raise the staff, and the character seems to be unable to move during the raising process. This is kind of normal. If this block exists for the Chanter, of course you can't move with your character when you are in that kind of blocking state. The Guardian skill, Chanter skills, are mainly to hit people with a staff. Of course, main weapon of the Chanter, just to clarify this, and the only weapon of the Chanter is staff. We already know that information from NCSoft officially. There will be, for now at least, only 1 weapon per class. Not like in original AION, where different classes could use few different weapons. For example, I remember I was playing mostly Gladiator class as my main. I was able to use lots of different weapons on my Gladiator. Now, it's only Greatsword for Gladiator. For example, for Templar, it's Sword and Shield. For Sorcerer, is Spellbook or Book. For Spiritmaster, is Orb, actually 2 orbs. For Ranger, is a Longbow or Bow, however you want to call it. For Assassin, is Daggers. And of course, right here for Chanter is Staff. Did I forget anything? Yes, I did forget to mention Cleric. It's of course Shield and Mace. So that's it regarding weapons. 1 weapon per class. Now, you can hit people with Staff, which can stun people. I'll show you in a second some skills of this class. Yes, lots of skills have a stun or knockdown effect, and lots of skills are AoE, which is really cool. There is a small skill that can throw people over their shoulder. That's kind of cool. It feels great to use the staff to pick people up and throw them over your shoulder. I didn't see that skill for now in action. I really didn't. We have seen already Chanter a little bit in action, but that skill we didn't see. So that's great. Probably it's some specialization, maybe on certain level. There are buff skills, Sprint, Sprint Mantra, and Undefeated Mantra. Only some representative buffs are left. There are not many buffs. There are Gust of Wind, Iron Wall, and Sprint. Okay, so regarding this thing, regarding mantras, of course, mantras are here for Chanter. We have seen on a gameplay presentation during NCSoft 4th live stream, Chanter using 3 different mantras. There were skills 6, 7, and 8 on the skill bar, and there were mantras. So mantras are here, similar to original AION, but obviously this system regarding buffs and mantras is a little bit changed. How much change? Well, about that, you can check dedicated video on my YouTube channel from a few days ago about skills of the Chanter specifically. I have one video talking only about skills of the Chanter. I can show you here on Discord of AION 2. Very nice post from Fellow Graphics. Big thank you, Fellow, for making these amazing posts. Fellow is doing amazing job for all of AION community, making lots of translation. Here you can see all the skills of the Chanter translated. Check dedicated video on my YouTube channel from a few days ago, where you can see not only skills, but mantras, buffs, everything you will find in this video. But I want to focus now on the feedback of the players. That is topic of this video. Regarding skills, you can check another video. There is a group blood, which is branding skill. Group blood. What this means, there is a group heal. Yes, Chanter have very strong group heal. It heals immediately for certain amount of HP, and not only that, is healing you over time, you and your party members within 40 meters. Yes, you heard right, which is really amazing. Chanter, not only it will be very strong DPS, but also having this very strong healing skill with short cooldown for you and your party members within 40 meters range. Very useful for PvP and PvE. What else we have here? This is image, right? Basically, Guardian Star. You can see here Chanter using staff weapon and image source South Korea official third live broadcast. So this was basically it regarding Chanter from feedback of the players. Like I said, I already done video on my YouTube channel regarding skills of the Chanter. You can check that dedicated video on my YouTube channel where you can see in details every skill of the Chanter with translation, with numbers, every effects. Check that video on my YouTube channel from a few days ago. For today, just to let you know how players who have played AION 2 for the first time on servers in Korea actually feel about Chanter. They feel good about the Chanter. And I can tell you also what I have seen so far, what I have learned about Chanter, without any doubt. Chanter will be very strong class of AION 2, reminding a lot on original Chanter, with mantras, with buffs, with healing, but also with higher DPS. This is it, guys. If you want to play Chanter, if you didn't like Chanter in the past because it was low DPS class, forget about that. Chanter now is looking very powerful. For today's video, this is my analysis, and you can see also feedback of the players who have played already AION 2 Chanter class. Make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on Twitch. I'm live streaming every single day, mandatory, no skipping. Visit me on Twitch every day about 7 p.m. Central European Time. If you have any kind of questions regarding the game, I'll be glad to answer and also to keep you updated regarding everything what is happening in world of AION 2. Thank you for watching the video. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on Twitch, and see you soon with another AION 2 video. We have get already lots of useful information about classes from feedback of the players who have played for the first time AION 2 on servers in Korea during FGT test and also later on servers in Taiwan on FGT test. So for this evening, I want to focus on Demonic Path class. And don't worry, of course I'm only joking. Name of the class is not Demonic Path. Name of the class is actually Sorcerer. I have for you today lots of interesting information. You can see here in front of me one part of this massive document showcasing skills and basically lots of very interesting information, very concrete information about gameplay of Sorcerer. So let's talk about Sorcerer class this evening. Don't be confused by this translation. Demonic Path, it's a rough translation from Korean language to English language. It's actually Sorcerer class. Before we start, let me just say, subscribe to my YouTube channel to see more of AION 2 videos in the future. Here on my YouTube channel, I'm preparing lots of guides for new players, PvP-wise and PvE-wise, how to gear up, builds for different classes, dungeons, raids, crafting, news and updates. Everything what you need to know from World of AION 2, you'll find it here on my YouTube channel. Also, make sure to follow me on Twitch. I'm live streaming every single day, mandatory, no skipping. Visit me on Twitch every day about 7 p.m. Central European Time. If you have any kind of questions regarding the game, I'll be glad to answer and also to keep you updated regarding everything what is happening in the world of AION 2. But now, let's focus on the main topic of this video, Demonic Path, actually Sorcerer of AION 2. First, let's check main skills of Sorcerer in AION 2. And don't forget, this is only a rough translation, feedback from the players who have played AION 2 already on servers in Korea and Taiwan. Some mistakes are possible, and also take everything here from grain of salt because yes, these should be skills of the Sorcerer in AION 2. However, developers of the game can change everything from FGT test, between FGT test and launch of the game. They could actually change lots of these things. However, already now, we can get at least impression what kind of class Sorcerer will be actually, right? So let's check it out, guys, and let's enjoy this evening in new information about Sorcerer class. First, we have here skill. What is the name of the skill? Flame Fork. Single target fire damage releases 5 fireballs on the head, flying towards the enemy, released in place, but can be specialized to release on the move. Okay. Second skill, Summon Typhoon. This already sounds very, very similar to Sorcerer from original AION. Small circular EOE, binding and continuous damage needs to be released at designated location. Then we have here skill number 3, Ice Shock. AOE within its own range, slowing down plus damaging. This is very nice. So it's also not making damage, it's also slowing down, and it's AOE with its own range. Hellfire, a 3-stage charging skill. Okay, so this is a charging skill. Obviously, probably you're not going to be able to move while you're doing this. The charging method is very similar to the first generation Bard Big Horse. I remember that one. If you remember Bard class from original AION, then you remember that big horse galloping in front of you. The longer the charging time, the higher the damage. Yes, logically. It takes about 1.5 seconds to fully charge. Actually, this is not even that long time. Only 1.5 seconds to fully charge is not a long time. It is a single target output skill, the only skill in the mage pad that requires a charging bar. Okay, this is interesting information. If this is true, take everything what you can see today with a grain of salt. So this should be the only skill of mage, sorcerer, which requires a charging bar. So that means other skills don't have that charging time. That actually sounds pretty good. I mean, regarding gameplay of Sorcerer. Left button on your mouse, 3 normal attacks, Flame Ball, Flame Shock, and Flame Blast. So we have already seen on user interface of AION 2, there will be skills from 1 to 8, then Q and E, and also left mouse click and right mouse click. Right mouse click, Ice Chain, Ice Blast. The first stage is range deceleration plus damage. The second stage is range damage. Guys, so far this looks pretty good. Let's go forward. Then we have Q skill. Q skill is freeze. Single freeze plus damage, the kind that can't move at all. There is a chance, not 100% control. So yes, what is interesting about Sorcerer in AION 2, your CC skills, it's not 100% that it will land. There is certain chance that your CC crowd control skills will land. So take that in consideration. It could be, I don't know, 70%, 75%, something like that, that your skill will actually land. Maybe it will not. Maybe it will be miss, right? You need to know that. Q2, Frozen Blast, an explosion that can be followed by a successful freeze within Q skill, a bit like creating works or destroying work skill or the first generation of Painter class. They mean on Painter, I guess, right, from original AION. Q3, after the impact is released, it changes into a tree and deals damage. So this also reminds a little bit on original AION, changing into a tree. Later you will see that curse tree skill. E skill, so beside the Q, there is also E skill, Spark Blast. When using the flame attacks, there is a chance to put a spark mark on the enemy. As long as one layer is used, the E skill will be triggered, a bit like the pattern explosion of the Killing Star. They mean on Assassin. Killing Star, again, this is a rough translation from Korean language to English language. Killing Star should be actually Assassin. So are they talking here about something similar to rune system? I guess, I'm only guessing, probably something like that, because the runes are very specific for assassin class. You know that from original AION. The Spark Mark has burning damage, seems to be a only dot skill of the mage. Oh, this is interesting. So the only dot damage over time skill of the mage? Wow, I was thinking that Sorcerer have more dot skills. Even that is more specific for, actually, for Spiritmaster class, not that much for the Sorcerer, but it would be nice to see more dots on Sorcerer. However, you can see, at least from this feedback, this is looking like the only dot damage over time skill of the Sorcerer, but at least at this point in time. Again, we don't know how much accurate is this feedback, and also NCSoft can change many things even before release of the game. This is feedback from the players who have already played AION 2 during FGT tests on servers in Korea and Taiwan. Okay, let's check. Next skill here is E2, Magic Power Doubled, increased attack power and hit rate, 1 minute cooldown, lasts for 15 seconds. Note that this generation of hit rate will not affect control skills. E3, Dissolve, activated when boss is dizzy. So this is in certain states. Brand skills. These are basically one of the most important skills for each class. These skills you cannot change. They are brand your class specific skills. Number 1, Holy Explosion, single target fire damage. Okay, this is pretty simple. Then we have here Lumiere Power, range immunity. The entire team is immune for 2 seconds. Oh, this is interesting. So Lumiere Power, this is very specific. Range immunity, the entire party is immune for 2 seconds. I mean, only 2 seconds, but at least something, right? Glacial Smash, is it Glacial Shard? I mean, it's kind of funny, right, to see this translation. It's Glacial Smash. Range freezing, hit damage, actually high damage, and instant cast. Guys, reminds a little bit on Glacial Shard from original game AION. We have here Glacial Smash, so range freezing, high damage, and instant. This would be insane. Yeah, probably longer cooldown, right? I'm just guessing, but probably longer cooldown because this will be one of the top skills of the Sorcerer class. Then we have here a Lumiere Space, aerial constraints centered on oneself. Okay, aerial constraints centered on oneself. Number 5, Curse Tree. Curse Tree is here, really. Single object instantly transforms into a tree. Only this tree transforming sleep mode is available, not the sheep transformation sleep mode in the first generation. So, okay, so only this is sleep. Only this sleep exists for Sorcerer, looks like in AION 2. At least what are players saying now. Maybe there is more, but they have noticed this one. So, sleep, Curse Tree. Then 6, we have Iron Armor Blessing, similar to the first generation of Iron Armor. So this will be like stone skin, iron armor you have on yourself, right? Elemental Amplification, increased attribute stats, actually damage, right? Okay. 8, Ice Armor, similar to the first generation with anti-damage. With anti-damage. Wait, do they mean reflect? I'm not sure what do they mean by this. With anti-damage. Anti-damage. How would you explain anti-damage? I mean, is it a reflect? And this is Ice Armor, so I don't think it's a reflect. But guys, you never know. You never know what will have Sorcerer in AION 2. Skill number 9, there is instant single target silence skill. Oh, this is huge. This is huge. This will be so good in PvP. Guys, imagine this. I don't know what will be the cooldown of this skill. It's only single target. I mean, it would be too much for Sorcerer to have a party AoE silence. That's insane, right? That would be insane. However, instant single target silence skill. This is it, guys. We've already seen from some feedback of the players that Sorcerer doesn't feel that powerful. But guys, when I'm reading this, absolutely Sorcerer is looking powerful because it's not only about damage. There will be damage here. Don't worry about that, but it's about CC, crowd control, and also silence, sleep. What do you want more? You have also iron armor. They're translating at least here. Some kind of stone skin, shield, maybe even reflect. Next here is skill number 10. There is an ice breaking skill that causes continuous ice damage within its own range. The player cannot move while maintaining the skill. The range is large and the damage is high. The player cannot move while maintaining the skill. The range is large and damage is high. Okay. Assault skill 11, range freezing plus damage. Again, lots of CC. Insane amount of CC. Almost every second skill of Sorcerer here have some kind of freeze. We have also sleep. There is a silence. Curse tree is here. Guys, pretty good. I doubt that Sorcerer will be a weak class. I have doubts in that. I think the Sorcerer will be also a very strong class, like it was also in original AION. One of the most popular classes when we're talking about DPS classes. It was amazing range DPS class. And sadly, for me as a Gladiator, because I was mostly playing Gladiator in original AION, it was anti-class of plates. Anti-class of Templar and Gladiator. It was actually Sorcerer, Spiritmaster, Bard, magical class. They were anti-class of plates. And I can tell you that, for example, when I have met in arenas some really good Sorcerers as a Gladiator, yeah, I knew already it's a lost fight. Even with extendable weapon, for me as a Gladiator, it was not easy to defeat a Sorcerer. And also, never forget, if you can defeat as a Gladiator some Sorcerer, that doesn't mean that you are a great player. No, that means that that Sorcerer is a bad player. If I defeat Sorcerer as a Gladiator, yeah, that Sorcerer is not playing good. Because Sorcerer and magical classes are anti-classes of plates. And yes, Gladiator is very strong against Assassin, Chanter, other Gladiator, Templar. Gladiator with extendable weapon, absolutely, can be very powerful. But against Sorcerer, yeah, it's a big problem for us, right? So anyway, I can see here power of the Sorcerer is still here. The damage will be increased when the monster is slowed down, okay? The boss is not affected by the slowdown, that's normal, but can be slowed down. The damage increase from the slowdown will take effect, but the movement speed will not be reduced. Without the space-time corridor, the robe skills of the first generation have become passive, such as Fire Robe, Wind Robe. Oh, we know about that from original on the first generation. And many buff skills of the first generation have become passives. We have seen that also in some other cases, I think, regarding Chanter. Don't worry, I got you covered also regarding that. I have video for each one of the classes of this type. We are going to study each class. They are turning some active skills into passives for many classes, including here for Sorcerer. The skills that are connected with will still turn you into a tree similar to the first generation. The magic pad skills do not have a reading bar, but there is a back and forth swing, which can be cancelled by blocking the knife or rolling. Next here we have combo. The combo should be Q to freeze at the beginning, okay? Right click to slow down. Passive skill increases damage when slowing down. Then E to open the magic doubler. Then first skill, Flame Fork, Q Blast, Brand to turn into a tree, reduce fire resistance. After sleeping, read fourth skill, Hellfire, the only skill with a reading bar. Brand, Holy Explosion, very high fire damage. And then with Brand, Glacial Smash or Glacial Shard, very high water damage. So actually somebody here who are playing, right, from the players who have played already AION 2, they have described what should be your strategy with to play. So you start with the Q to freeze at the beginning, right click to slow down, passive skill increase damage when slowing down, E to open magic doubler, first skill Flame Fork, Q, then again Brand to turn into the tree. After sleeping, read fourth skill Hellfire, and then on the end Brand Holy Explosion, very high fire damage. And we end with Glacial Smash. You can see a little bit here presentation of skill bar of Sorcerer. But this here, I can already see this is looking from older patches, because we have already seen NCSoft have already improved user interface. Skills were looking different. Here, skills look really similar to each other. We have seen in the latest few live streams, NCSoft have improved user interface and how our skills appearing on your UI a lot. So take this in consideration. Holy Explosion, 6 Iron Armor Blessing, and 8 Cursed Ancient Tree. Image Source, Taiwan official second live broadcast. We can see here the boss have a slowdown buff. Image Source, Taiwan official second live broadcast. So boss have that slowdown buff. That's interesting. On the boss, right? Level 45. What do we have here? Here we have that branding skill. Forgot the name. Image Source, South Korea official second live stream. We can see Sorcerer with that AOE skill. This is some kind of freeze skill, and it's a 10 branding skill. What else we have here? Image Source, South Korea official second live stream. Magic Power Multiplier Element Amplification. So that is the skill which is basically increasing your damage. And here we have Taiwan official second live stream, South Korea official second live stream, Holy Explosion, Iron Armor. Armor, shield. We have here on the left side a Holy Explosion, on the right side we have shield. And here we have legendary Cursed Tree. Also, you know this skill from original AION. If you have ever played AION, then you know what is this. This is looking in PvP, I guess, some tree. And what else? Wait, that's not everything. What is this? This is Silence. The head is hit by the special effect of Silence. Image Source, South Korea official for the live stream. So guys, this will be how it looks Silence when you put it right on some character. So I think regarding Sorcerer, actually lots of interesting information here. Don't forget, like I said on the beginning of this video, take in consideration that everything, I mean, they'll probably not change everything, but some things might be changed, definitely, for launch of the game. This was from the feedback of the players who have already played this game during FGT test. Guys, Sorcerer is looking good in my opinion. Definitely, this will be another, like, original AION also, like in original AION, very strong CC class. I can see also here some burst, high damage skills, also probably reflect. So I think this will look very good also in AION 2. If you are interested into AION 2, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm preparing lots of guides of this type also in the future after release of the game. You will see gameplay of all classes, PvP and PvE builds, news regarding updates, dungeons, raids, crafting, everything what you need to know from World of AION 2, you'll find it here on my YouTube channel. Also, make sure to follow me on Twitch. I'm live streaming every single day, mandatory, no skipping. Visit me on Twitch every day about 7 p.m. Central European Time. If you have any kind of questions regarding the game, I'll be glad to answer and also to keep you updated regarding everything what is happening in World of AION 2. Thank you for watching the video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on Twitch, and see you soon with another AION 2 video. Let's talk about Templar class of AION 2. Just recently we have seen FGT test on servers in Taiwan, and even before that we have seen FGT test on servers in Korea. And from that feedback of the players who have played the game for the first time, we have actually get some information about different classes. You can already check dedicated videos on my YouTube channel about Spiritmaster, Sorcerer, Gladiator, and many other classes regarding feedback of the players. And actually we have get lots of feedback for different classes. However, regarding Templar, we didn't get too much information. So in today's video, I will give you everything available so far, feedback from the players who have played Templar so far during FGT test on servers in Korea and Taiwan, and in the future, of course, where I see any kind of news regarding Templar, real gameplay footage we have already seen a little bit during second live stream of NCSoft. You can already check that video on my YouTube channel. But when I see any kind of news, more information about skills and gameplay of Templar and many other classes of AION 2, you will see it instantly here on my YouTube channel. So make sure to subscribe. Also, follow me on Twitch. I'm live streaming every single day, mandatory, no skipping. Visit me on Twitch every day about 7 p.m. Central European Time. If you have any kind of questions regarding the game, I'll be glad to answer and also to keep you updated regarding everything what is happening in World of AION 2. But now, let's focus on the main topic of this video, Templar of AION 2. So regarding feedback about Templar, we didn't get much. When I will need to compare 8 classes which we are going to have for launch of AION 2, Templar is the class with the least information which we have so far. We have already lots of information about Spiritmaster, Sorcerer, Gladiator, some information about Cleric, Chanter. Nevertheless, about Templar, very little amount of information. In front of you, you can see post about Guard. Don't worry, Guard is only rough translation from Korean language to English language. This actually means Templar. So let's check information about Templar. What do we have so far? Templar has a shield holding skill similar to the original. Okay, this is not a surprise for beginning because we know Templar will be about tanking, which is an active skill. Okay, so it's active skill, shield holding skill. It can be held continuously, but there is a 15 to 20 second cooldown after cancelling it and opening it again. So wait a second, it can be held continuously. That is good. However, there will be some short cooldown after cancelling it. Holding the shield will make you invincible. Okay, that's good, guys. So obviously, again, like in original AION, Templar will be about tanking. If you remember original game, if you have ever played original game, I can tell you right away as a veteran player of AION, when we are talking about a real tank of AION, definitely we are talking about Templar. Yes, you could also tank lots of content on your Gladiator class. I used to play Gladiator actually a lot as my main class. And yes, I was able to tank a lot on Gladiator. However, Gladiator by definition is a melee DPS. Real tank class of AION original game and AION 2 will be Templar. So this here holding shield, no surprise regarding that. Some specific mechanism can achieve 0 damage by holding the shield, and some mechanics can only reduce damage. Some mechanisms can also reduce damage. So guys, Again, shield will make, right, you basically almost immortal. You will receive 0 damage, and some mechanics can only reduce damage. So when you hold the shield, not everything will be only 0 damage. Sometimes you will get reduced damage, which is again kind of normal for Templar class. None of the people who participated in the sharing playing Guardian, so there is very little information. So this is rough translation from Korean language and actually from Chinese traditional language over there from FGT test held on servers in Taiwan to English language. Guys, basically not many people have played Templar. Is that a surprise? Not really, because when we see distribution of interest regarding different classes of AION 2, Templar is not standing really good. Not many people want to play tanking class, and we do need tanks. We definitely need tanks in PvP and in PvE. In PvP, to go in front. In PvE, to hold aggro from bosses, especially in endgame content. Because we can already get lots of interesting information about the Gladiator. You can check already dedicated video on my YouTube channel about Gladiator class, Sword Star here in translation. Yeah, you can tank lots of content on Gladiator class, but here in this description regarding skills and main attributes of Gladiator class, it's also stated from the feedback of the players who have played Gladiator already AION 2 during FGT test. They said that still for endgame content, you will need Templar. You will need Templar for tanking because you can tank some mid-game content, some not that hard dungeons and stuff like that. But if you really want to play some endgame content, you will need designated tank, and that is a Templar. We've already seen some gameplay footage of Templar during second live stream from NCSoft. You can see that gameplay right now in front of you, and it's looking actually pretty good. Gameplay of Templar was looking decent, however, not that much dynamic and fluid as for other classes. A Ranger and Cleric, for example, they were looking much more dynamic, fast-paced, fluid gameplay than for Templar. And also, like I said, we don't have much more information about Templar class in general. Templar will use sword and shield as a main weapon and only weapon. We already have information from developers of this game and actually from FGT testers that each class can use only one weapon for now. So there is no options like 2 or 3 weapons like in original AION, right, for some classes. No, Templar, you can use only one weapon, that will be sword and shield, and that's it. For example, Gladiator can use only greatsword, no polyarm, and no dual wielding. You can check, like I said, already dedicated video regarding Gladiator on my YouTube channel and regarding other classes. For today, just to let you know, there is nothing much known about Templar. Everything what we know so far is definitely it's going to be tank class, holding a shield, and regarding skills, we don't know much because most of the players who are playing different classes during FGT test on servers in Korea and Taiwan, they were playing other classes. Obviously, very popular classes were Sorcerer, Ranger, Chanter, Spiritmaster, Assassin, but the least played was Templar. And that is the reason why we don't have much information about Templar so far. We did see a gameplay of Templar, like I said, during second live stream, but that's it. We don't know much about the skills. I hope in the future we're getting more information from NCSoft about Templar. When I get more information, you will see it instantly here on my YouTube channel. For today, just to let you know what we know so far about this tank class of AION 2. If you have never played AION before, if you have intention to dive into World of AION first time for a release of AION 2, and if you want to play tank class, well, then Templar will be option for you to play. Also Gladiator, like I said, but Gladiator by vocation is actually melee DPS class, even that you can tank lots of content on Gladiator. So that is it for today, guys. This is everything what I have for you regarding Templar. In the future, when I see more information about Templar, you will see it instantly here on my YouTube channel. If you are interested into AION 2, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I am preparing lots of content, guides for new players, PvP-wise and PvE-wise, how to gear up, best builds for PvP and PvE for each class, gameplay, raids, dungeons, crafting, news, and updates. Everything what you need to know from World of AION 2, you'll find it here on my YouTube channel. Also, make sure to follow me on Twitch. I'm live streaming every single day, mandatory, no skipping. Visit me on Twitch every day about 7 p.m. Central European Time. If you have any kind of questions regarding the game, I'll be glad to answer and also to keep you updated regarding everything what is happening in World of AION 2. Thank you for watching the video. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on Twitch, and see you soon with another AION 2 video. Let's talk about the Ranger class of AION 2. In front of me, you can see feedback from the players who have played Ranger class of AION 2 for the first time during FGT test on servers in Taiwan. You can see very short feedback. However, for today's video, I want to focus on feelings of players. How did they feel playing a Ranger? What information are we getting? And also I'll show you some skills of Ranger class, because this is one very interesting range DPS class of AION 2. You also had Ranger in original AION, so I'll use this opportunity also to compare a little bit of Ranger gameplay of AION 2, what we have seen so far, with Ranger from original AION. Also, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on Twitch. Here on my YouTube channel, I'm preparing lots of videos, guides for new players, PvP-wise and PvE-wise, best builds for each class, dungeons, raids, crafting, news, and updates. Everything what you need to know from World of AION 2, you'll find it here on my YouTube channel. Also, follow me on Twitch. I'm live streaming every single day, mandatory, no skipping. Visit me on Twitch every day about 7 p.m. Central European Time. If you have any kind of questions regarding the game, I'll be glad to answer and also to keep you updated regarding everything what is happening in World of AION 2. But now let's focus on the main topic of this video. Feedback of the players who have played Ranger for the first time in AION 2 during FGT test. In front of you, you can see title of the post, Bow Star. Don't worry, this is actually Ranger. None of the friends who participated in the sharing played Bow Star, and no one played Killer Star. Killer Star would be actually Assassin. So basically, during FGT test, obviously, a Ranger was not that much popular, which is kind of strange, but it is happening because during FGT test on servers in Taiwan and also in Korea before that, we have seen not many players actually playing those FGT tests. They are very limited, so this feedback is all which we are basically getting. But some of them were hit by a longbow, right, Bow Star in PvP. Okay, this is interesting. So they can play PvP against a Ranger class. Probably you know that if you're AION veteran player and if you're watching my YouTube videos, that Ranger in original AION was very good in PvP. Specifically in Abyss, during flying combat, Ranger was really good. Range, DPS class, lots of beautiful skills to play PvP, and very nice DPS output. In summary, Bow Star damage is quite high. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Even in original game, AION 1 and AION Classic, Ranger had a pretty high damage output. You can kite in PvP, again, not a surprise. I remember when I was playing, usually I was playing Gladiator as my main class in original AION. When I was playing in Arena 1 versus 1 against Ranger or in open world, yeah, definitely a Ranger was kiting, trying to avoid, and I was chasing Ranger as I was playing a melee class. It was not easy to catch a Ranger, especially if you have stealth. And there is a stealth also in AION 2 Ranger for that class. I'll talk about that in a minute regarding skills, which requires kiting, a lot of operation, and the probability of control skills. Control skills such as stun have probability if you are hit, just shot, if you are not, run away quickly. So regarding stuns, CC skills, different kind of CC skills in AION 2, it's not 100% hit. It's probability they're going to fail. We have seen that also in description of Sorcerer class. I've already done one video, actually a few videos regarding skills and what we know so far about Sorcerer. Make sure to check that video on my YouTube channel, because Sorcerer have lots of CC skills, but lots of these skills are not guaranteed. There is no guaranteed hit on Sorcerer or basically many other classes CC skills. There is only probability, 75%, 70%, maybe higher, maybe a little bit lower, that hit will actually land. So, but what is interesting here, they're mentioning they're playing PvP against the Ranger, and that Ranger was very high damage output, had very high damage output. Also, that Ranger was kiting, and there was some CC skills from the Ranger. Here we have a little bit of picture from Ranger. We can actually get gameplay footage of the Ranger during second live stream from NCSoft. We have seen some really cool gameplay of Ranger in dungeon called the Fire Temple. I have already that video on my YouTube channel where you can see Ranger in action. Also, we have get here on Discord, AION 2 community Discord. You'll find link in the pinned comments below this video. We get very interesting post here from fellow graphics regarding Ranger skills. I can show here some very interesting skills of Ranger class. I will not turn this into reading session. I have already one video on my YouTube channel only about skills of Ranger, where I'm describing each one of these skills and analyzing full breakdown of these skills. Check dedicated video on my YouTube channel from a few weeks ago. You'll just scroll down, you'll find this video where I'm doing full breakdown and analysis of these skills. In short, I can show you here, silence arrow, yeah, you can silence a target for 5 seconds. Totally insane. And of course, stealth. Stealth is here for Ranger. Enter stealth for 30 seconds, very differently from assassin. Assassin class in AION 2 also have stealth, but it's a party stealth. You get stealth, invisibility, and your party for 10 seconds, and that's it. However, Ranger have a solo, only for yourself, right? You have a stealth, you cannot use during combat, entering combat cancels. However, it lasts 30 seconds. That is interesting. Cooldown 1 minute 27 seconds. Regarding other skills here, I wouldn't say any kind of big surprise. Something what you would expect from Ranger class. Range class, high damage, very high damage, stealth, silence, knockdown, some of the stun. I will not say knockdown, but stun you can see here with very high damage. Check dedicated video on my YouTube channel from a few weeks back to see full breakdown and analysis of these skills. For today, I wanted to give you this a little bit of a sneak peek into the Ranger class. What did FGT players actually said about Ranger? Surprisingly, they didn't said much, because other classes, I already covered other classes in video of this type. You can check already on my YouTube channel video of this type regarding feedback for Sorcerer, Spiritmaster, Gladiator. You can check lots of feedback for Chanter. You can see here, look at this. Insane amount of data, feedback regarding different classes. You can check those videos on my YouTube channel regarding each class. Feedback, you can see, check this out. How much feedback for different classes, including Templar, Gladiator, Sorcerer, Spiritmaster. However, regarding Ranger, very poor feedback because people didn't play it. They can play against it a little bit, but fine. At least we can get some feedback. And again, I'm a little bit surprised that they didn't play Ranger or Assassin that much. For today, just briefly here on this short video to tell you what kind of feedback players had about Ranger. It's looking definitely very similar on many ways to Ranger from original AION. High DPS burst, melee class, and regarding skills, like I said, if you want to go into details regarding this, make sure to check dedicated video on my YouTube channel from a few days ago where you can see all the skills of the Ranger analyzing right full breakdown. For today, a little bit of sneak peek into the Ranger class. If you are interested into AION 2, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm preparing lots of guides for new players, PvP-wise and PvE-wise, best builds for each class, dungeons, raids, crafting, news, and updates. Everything what you need to know from World of AION 2, you'll see it here on my YouTube channel. So make sure to subscribe. Also, follow me on Twitch. I'm live streaming every single day, mandatory, no skipping. Visit me on Twitch every day about 7 p.m. Central European Time. If you have any kind of questions regarding the game, I'll be glad to answer and also to keep you updated regarding everything what is happening in World of AION 2. Thank you for watching the video. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on Twitch, and see you soon with another AION 2 video. Let's talk about Cleric of AION 2. In today's video, I want to focus on the feedback of the players who have played AION 2 for the first time on servers in Korea and Taiwan during FGT test. In front of you, you can see summarized feedback. How does Cleric feel under the fingers? Everything what you need to know regarding this class from the feedback of the players who have played this class during FGT test, you'll find out in today's video. Also, make sure other videos of this type of my YouTube channel, I can collect all the feedback. I can actually try to gather all the available information. Also, big thank you to whoever have created this file. This is a very nice here post written summarized data regarding information. How does player feel about different classes of AION 2? So in today's video, I want to focus on Cleric. I also compare Cleric of AION 1 with AION 2 Cleric. What is different? So let's dive into today's video. Before we start, let me just say, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm preparing lots of content regarding AION 2, PvP-wise and PvE-wise. Everything what you need to know, best builds for each class, dungeons, raids, crafting, news, and updates. You'll find it here on my YouTube channel. So make sure to subscribe. Also, follow me on Twitch. I'm live streaming every single day, mandatory, no skipping. Visit me on Twitch every day about 7 p.m. Central European Time. If you have any kind of questions regarding the game, I'll be glad to answer and also to keep you updated regarding everything what is happening in world of AION 2. But now let's focus on the main topic of this video. Feedback of the players who have played Cleric class for the first time. Cleric class of AION 2. You can see here title of this part of the post, Cure. Don't worry, this is actually Cleric, and this is a rough translation from traditional Chinese language to English language, so take that in consideration. Some things you can take here with grain of salt. This is only feedback of the players. This is not official information from NCSoft. However, you want to see how the player feel about the Cleric and some main information about this class. Okay, so let's check what we have here. Cure, Cleric. Cannot use shortcut keys to switch teammates. Still have the attack breath and blood breath of the first generation. This here, attack breath and blood breath, this actually means that summoning servant from the first generation. It's a rough translation, like I said. There is one summoning servant we have seen during a gameplay footage already from second live stream from NCSoft. You have seen a little bit of Cleric gameplay. You can check that dedicated video on my YouTube channel maybe like few weeks ago, like 3 weeks ago, where I'm showing you Cleric in action during dungeon gameplay. We have seen Cleric summoning one of the servants. This was Holy Breath. There was one servant actually making damage, not healing, making damage. They didn't need any kind of healing. So looks like there will be some kind of summoning thing looking like this, which will be able to heal and damage, right? Do damage depending on the occasion. The blood breath range is very small. So this blood breath means HP. Healing servant range is very small. The blood skill cooldown is long and reading bar is slow. So this here, guys, healing skill, blood skill, this is actually means healing skill. Cooldown is very long and reading bar is slow. The status removal and instant buff are combined together. So status removal, do they mean some kind of dispel? Possibly. And instant buff. All teammates are instantly buffed plus status removal. I think this is dispel, I'm guessing, and buff. The cooldown is very long, of course. If there is a dispel, then cooldown should be long. What I mean by dispel, of course, you know that if you have already played AION before. If you didn't, yes, there are some statuses which you can get which are negatively impacting your character, and Cleric, main healing class of this game, is able to remove that negative status from you by using dispel. Now, there will be maybe dispel or not. From this post, looks like yes. Also, just to mention that Cleric is going to use shield and mace as main weapon and the only weapon for now. There is no any kind of secondary weapon or other option. There is no any kind of swapping of weapon or even other weapon to use. In AION 2, at least for now, developers of the game have decided to implement one weapon system per class. One weapon, that's it. In the past, differently from original AION 1 and AION Classic, where you will be able to use lots of weapons, maybe not a lot, but different weapons for each class. Now, for example, Gladiator can use only Greatsword. Yes, only Greatsword. Cleric is using shield and mace. On the other side, Templar sword and mace. Ranger is using longbow. Spiritmaster is using orb, actually 2 orbs this time. Actually pretty interesting, right? 2 orbs, not only 1, but it's a 1 weapon orb. Then we have Sorcerer using spellbook or book. Of course, we have Assassin using daggers. And we have a Chanter using staff. That's it. 1 weapon per class. That means for Cleric, Shield, and Mace. So this cannot be used frequently. And Eustace Glory has the option of reducing the reading time after specialization skill. So specialization, basically every skill has some specializations. You're upgrading your skill and getting basically better effects for your skill. The ability of Healing Star to assist and output has been improved. So this is very interesting that you can see here that output has been improved, but the blood adding ability is weak. Blood adding, healing is weak. So yeah, guys, this is very interesting feedback which I have already seen from many FGT players, not only within this post, within many other posts. Everybody's saying that Cleric healing is very weak. Is that a surprise? Not really. For one modern MMORPG, developers, even that we have Holy Trinity system in AION 2. Yes, we have Trinity system in this game, DPS, tank, and healer. However, developers went a little bit more in hybrid direction, and you have a feeling that each class is much more playable solo, that you can DPS on each class, and obviously healing is feeling weaker. You can see here the team cannot rely on healing and must dodge skills by themselves. Can you, I mean, this sentence alone feels like it's not real when you compare Cleric with original AION, right? With original AION Cleric. The team cannot rely on healing. Really? You must dodge skills by themselves. There will be different kind of mechanics like dodge, parry, block, mitigating, blink. Depending on the class, there will be, every class has some kind of mitigation ability depending on the class specific skill. So you need to rely on yourself, on your defense abilities, on you watching situation around you, reacting on different kind of things, because Cleric alone with healing cannot heal you. It's not enough. Healing is weak, which is very, very interesting comparing to original AION, where you can see usually Cleric in the party always shouting, keep party closer, don't go away. Cleric really could heal you a lot in original AION. Now, healing of Cleric is looking diminished. However, another important information, this is only feedback of the players who have played this game for the first time. Maybe later in the game, maybe in some in-game, maybe also some player who is more used to of playing healing classes, maybe they will be able to heal better. So this is only general impression. Maybe this impression is not correct. Take that in consideration. The healing output of the first generation is difficult, but the second generation feels very easy to output, and there will be no situation where you can't beat monsters when leveling. So, regarding DPS of the Cleric, it's increased. Also, we have seen for another support class, Chanter. I've already done video regarding Chanter on my YouTube channel, similar type feedback video, and also regarding skills. Check those videos on my YouTube channel. You just scroll down a little bit, you'll find dedicated videos about skills of the Chanter. They have also increased for AION 2 DPS output of the Chanter. Even the Chanter have some healing abilities, also AoE healing abilities and party healing abilities. And also, obviously, here for Cleric, they have increased DPS output. Again, is that strange? No. As I already mentioned, as one modern MMORPG, we have seen that in cases of many other new upcoming MMORPGs, developers are trying to make classes that you can play solo. That you don't have a class which would be weak on DPS, very strong on heal. No, they want to have every class to have certain DPS output that you can not only level up solo, that you can play later solo in endgame, that you can go in rifting, PvP, but also to clean, so that you can clean solo type of the dungeons. So that is the reason, one of the reasons why not only in AION 2, but obviously also in AION 2, classes are more hybrid, and definitely Cleric is having higher DPS output, but of course, you need to be diminished on some side. Healing is weaker. Party members, they need to rely on themselves. Dodge, mitigate, blink, block, parry, whatever. help yourself because Cleric can't heal you enough. At least that is feedback of the players. You can see this holy bread. This will be that summoning servant. This is one picture. And you can see here lower, add blood plus remove status skills. Add blood actually means basically healing you, adding your HP. Remove status skills. Does that mean dispel? Probably yes. This will be group skill, right? Dispel and maybe at the same time heal, right? So this will be it, guys, regarding Cleric from the feedback of the players. If I see some additional information regarding Cleric, I will let you know about that instantly here on my YouTube channel. Of course, I will try to play Cleric on November 18 already on servers in Korea and Taiwan. You will see real gameplay footage of Cleric here on my YouTube channel. Also, guides for Cleric, best builds, best gear for Cleric, and for any other class, right? You will see it here on my YouTube channel. I'm going to play all the classes. I'm going to try all the classes on Korean and Taiwanese servers so that we can get ready for global release of AION 2, and you will see dedicated videos on my YouTube channel after release of the game, which will happen on November 18 on servers in Korea and Taiwan. However, for today, just to let you know, how does Cleric feel from the feedback of the players who have played Cleric for the first time during FGT tests. If you are interested into AION 2, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm preparing lots of videos, guides for new players, PvP-wise and PvE-wise, best builds for each class, guilds, dungeons, raids, crafting, news, and updates. Everything what you need to know from World of AION 2, you'll find it here on my YouTube channel. So make sure to subscribe. Also, follow me on Twitch. I'm live streaming every single day, mandatory, no skipping. I'm live streaming every single day about 7 p.m. Central European Time. If you have any kind of questions regarding the game, I'll be glad to answer and also to keep you updated regarding everything what is happening in World of AION 2. Thank you for watching the video. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on Twitch and see you soon with another AION 2 video. On the end of this video, I need to shortly mention Assassin class, which sadly was not played too much by FGT players on servers in Korea and Taiwan. So we didn't get basically any kind of feedback. However, we did get information about skills of Assassin class. I already have dedicated video on my YouTube channel only about skills of Assassin class. Make sure to check that video where you can see stealth. Yes, Assassin will have Shadow Walk stealth ability not only for you, but also for your party members. You're entering stealth state for 10 seconds, but not only you, but your party members also within 20 meters range. Also regarding skills, we can see here Ambush, Mark Explosion, this would be runes, lots of flashy, fast-paced and fluid skills which are very much resembling to Assassin of original AION. Like I said, if you want to see details regarding all of these skills, including here Dark Assault, Ambush, Flashing Slash, we have here Shadow, Blade Throne, and Spiral Slash. We have here actually many interesting skills, including aerial capture. Yes, you can capture target in the air and bind it for 3 seconds. It's absolutely insanely how strong are skills of Assassin. Make sure to check video on my YouTube channel. Like I said, I have already video where I'm showcasing in details all of these skills. Regarding feedback from FGT players, we didn't see basically anything. Very little feedback from FGT players, and that's why in today's video I cannot talk about that too much, because for other classes, yes, we can get lots of impressions from FGT players, but for this class specifically, not that much. Anyway, like I said, check dedicated video on my YouTube channel about Assassin, where you can see all the skills. And for today, that will be it regarding FGT players' feedback regarding all the classes, 8 available classes of AION 2. Thank you for watching the video. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on Twitch and see you soon with another AION 2 video.